Well, we're down the farm on Sunday afternoon to pick up a bit of timber, some bits and pieces. We've got various things like that, and yeah, all sorts. Some of it's a bit old and weathered now, but the general plan is that we're going to get some woodwork done at the plot today, where we store lots of garbage. It's all a bit chaotic. One of the long-term plans is to clean things up here. When I say down the farm, it's not our farm obviously, it's just where we rent some space, and gradually going to slowly start cleaning it up. But the allotment plot has been taken priority for a while. But yeah, it's a bit of a workspace in there as such, in theory, but mostly junk. Stacked up high. Every now and then I give it a tidy up, and then it just gets stacked up again. But yeah. Hopefully once the plot is in a bit better shape, we'll have more time for tidying things like this. Time and energy, that's the problem. That's the problem. So it's 2:22 p.m. on a glorious Sunday afternoon. What are we? Can't remember, something like the 8th of August, 9th. Yesterday was a write-off, mainly because of me. We got up pretty early and I just wasn't really able to commit to doing much. My energy levels were non-existent. My motivation levels were negative. These folks have had a big clean-up, look at that. Yeah. But yes, anyway, doing better today. We're up and out of the house before midday even. Had to do some errands. Had to fetch a free cycle oven from our storage because our oven's dead at home, which isn't great. And yeah, look at that. That plot's looking pretty schmeck. And grab some timber from the what do you call it? Farm, from the farm. Some old second-hand timber, variously used from various places. But what we also did is nip down to Wicks in town and pick up a bit more fresh new timber. So that's this stuff here. Oh boy, timber costs a lot. I get a 10% trade discount at Wicks, and that does not really take the edge off it. But we were going to get 2.4 metre ones. Ended up getting these 3s because I can actually get a whole bed out of 2 of them. This size of bed, which is a 1.5 by 1.1. Whereas you can't get that out of a 2.4 obviously. And it was $8.50 per plank for those ones, pre-discount, versus £8 for a 2.4. So obviously a 3 metre makes lots of sense. So yeah, then we got lots of this kind of recycled, upcycled, I don't know, rescued timber. Lots of little nails and stuff in it, like that. There's some very naily pieces in there. And I'm hoping out of those to try and sort of construct some sort of bracing system across the top of that. We'll work it out as we go. I don't want to be down here super late today. I have this habit, as I've mentioned in a previous video, of kind of screwing myself and being a bit knackered on Monday from being down here till 9 p.m. Not going to do that. Anyway, look, here's some good news. Some things have popped up. So this will be the Munich beer radish first, and then some mustard seed crop I planted. I can't remember what it was. The daikon are growing and looking okay in need of some water. Not much happening in this. Yep, I can see some little mustardy style seedlings and some weeds in the Cima de Rapa. Is it Cima de Rapa or Quima de Rapa? I'm not sure. I can't see any spring onions down the sides. They tend to take longer to germinate. Oh, we've got animal happening there. You can see that the ground's kind of pushed up, so animals have been in there, rodents of some sort, so that's unfortunate. I don't really see any sign of anything that I've planted in there coming up yet, just the animal marks. Oh well. This is our carrots, and oh wow, we have carrots, yeah. Oop, they've gone a bit over really. Okay. Yeah, anyway, so plan today is to build 2 of these low raised beds and get some bean seeds in them. So they will go probably 1 here and maybe 1 there. And in total there's eventually going to be, I think, 6 of these. I think I've got enough hinges for 6, or is it 8? I can't remember, but at least 6. Obviously we'll have to leave a gap here where the tree is, so we're just going to have some pots around that. But yeah, it's a glorious day. So for lunch, I don't know, it's 2 p.m. What do you want to call that? I don't know. For us it's going to be our brunch. I'm going to just light up a simple little barbecue and cook some sausages, which we'll have some sausages in some pita breads. So Kat was in here earlier and had spied more animals doing things. Look at that. This is not a very happy looking melon plant, and something has been having a go at it. So we'll just pull those 2 little Minnesota midget melons off there and write that off as it is, I think. I don't think there's anything else going to happen with that. This melon's looking good, has a couple of fruit on it down there. And I've already shown you the other fruits. These are the pedigree Durens, which are the one we just looked at is as well. Actually, that seems to be doing better for us this year. The Minnesota midgets have not had a good year. I mean, this plant is not going anywhere, not doing anything, sadly. This one is powering along, and has a couple of nice big fruit on it. And this is the other Minnesota midget down here. Again, not doing so well, not looking so good, unfortunately. Oh well. But I'm happy we'll have some fruit. The tomatoes are powering along. Bit of blossom end rot down here, fortunately. We've been underwater in them really, and that'll be a job today, to get a bunch of water done in here, as well as crack on with the me building. I think it's going to be me building and Cat watering. So if we have a look over in the, I don't know what's happened to that chair. Been a bit windy lately. The chili plants are looking okay. They're quite happy with minimal water input really. They're powering along. I wish they were growing more fruit and less of the big leafy plants, but oh well. Anyway, I'm going to get this little barbecue lit so we can cook up some sausages. We're just going to use one of those little instant things, just trying to minimise the amount of time spent on things. The pumpkins really seem to be on the way out. Look at that. That's gone from being lush green, sort of rainforest level of pumpkin in there to kind of thinned out in a space of less than a week. So all of this is looking pretty good still. And we can see our giant Waffle butternut in there. We have a slightly gone over the top yellow zucchini next to a smaller yellow zucchini. Nice big fat green one in there. Not quite getting into marrow territory, but heading in that direction. The beans, which I haven't done a frame for yet, well, I haven't done the netting for yet, just doing their own thing without my help. So, oh well. They're a bit late. I don't know what we'll get out of them. They're flowering, so something might happen. I keep panning in a bad way, I know. Cat doesn't like the panning. Makes her seasick. And these kales are coming along nicely, despite the fact their leaves are kind of getting destroyed, probably by the little ones. What are they called? The flea beetles. We get a lot of flea beetle around here. And there's some nice little gherkins happening down here. Whether or not we'll get enough gherkins at once to do a pickle, I don't know. You can collect them up, but they go soft pretty quickly, so you kind of want to get them get them pickled as a bulk. Shiso looking good, parsnips looking great, quite a nice looking weed there. Damn thing. Yeah. You can eat this weed, I've forgotten what it's called, but it's not that tasty. Okay, right. Gotta crack on. Well, it has been one of those days. Bits and pieces. Some things got done, some things didn't get done. As you can see, some progress happened on the front gate area, and you can probably get a picture now of how it's all supposed to work. Tall people need not apply. That's probably about 6 foot up there, and plenty of space for me. So there's a sort of a taller one at the front, and quite a big staging space in here. We're going to have grass there, hopefully. If the grass doesn't work out, we'll just wood chip it. These are temporary at the sides, I think. They were what we had and they fit nicely. So the plot remains relatively muntjac proof, maybe not so rabbit proof. And that's obviously the 2 gates, except this one's not made into a gate yet. That is literally just a pallet screwed in place. And this one is hanging quite nicely. So they'll basically just go together there. We'll probably have a slide over mechanism to hold it firmly in place, but that's how it looks. We'll probably want to get some paint on them. Always the sort of last job that probably never happens, the painting. But as you may be able to spot behind, more low raised beds did not happen. So I was going to crack on with that, and I got the timber cut. I was working up front, and the neighbours with their really angry dog came, and I just sort of went, nah, I'm not doing that. So I went and worked up the back instead. Got all the timber cut to size, which is great, and then discovered the screws that I want got left at home. So, well, aborted that job and did the gate instead. At least that's the thing. I would have liked to have had the beds and the gate done today, but what I ended up doing was spending a very good hour and a half or 2 hours just watering. So much stuff's dead dry. I was a little worried about the pumpkins, so I've watered the Three Sisters bed. I've watered the polytunnel and the greenhouse, and even the fruit trees are getting a drink. So there's the hoses on the Quince over here at the moment, and as you may spot from the drone footage I took, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, this Quince, you can see even better from above, is absolutely ridiculously laden with fruit, and I've thinned it out, and I'm worried now maybe I should thin it out some more, because I don't need that many quince. I really don't. So I might actually halve that crop and give these smaller fruit a chance to grow more than they are. The thinned out pears, though the crops are very heavy, are actually doing pretty well, it seems. I mean, that's a decent size. I don't know what a good size Concord pear really is, but I'm happy with that. If that ripens up and becomes an edible pear, I'm more than pleased. And we don't know this variety, but absolutely chockers with fruit as well after thinning. Little smaller, these ones. I don't know if they'll grow some more, but we'll see. But yeah, that's it. Cat tracked home a bit earlier. Right now it's about 8:30, so you know how I said earlier I was going to get home early and not hang out here too late? Well, that's not how the day went. But to be honest, I've enjoyed it. It's been real nice. It was a bit toasty when we got here, but the fading day has been absolutely beautiful. And I wish it could keep going on, but it can't. I've got to go home and get ready for tomorrow. But yeah, things are growing. Progress has been made. It makes up a little bit for yesterday's day of nullness. But I do regret what could have been done this weekend if I'd had my brain in the right place. But okay, these things happen, and we'll get there. I mean, we have a gate now. That is pretty awesome. And I totally forgot to talk about crops. We are harvesting left, right and centre, and I've just got this whole selection of tomatoes. The black cherries are, as usual, there's a whole pile there. A great cropper. We love the black cherries. Great little sweet cherry tomato with that dark colour. All sorts of different tomatoes there, like I said, and they're actually sat on a bed of shallots that Kat cleaned up earlier. There was more we harvested, yellow zucchinis, and a big green one, and that's some chard. We harvested some chard, and I just remembered I need to harvest the gherkins before they get too big. There are a nice little crop of gherkins hiding in this plant. A bit too big, some of them, for gherkining, but look at that down there. And these kales are flying up. I think I might have already talked about that when I did the earlier video today. But yes, anyway, let's just look at my gate again a bit more. And that'll do. I'll go get the car and harvest these gherkins and get going. Bloody weeds. Okay. Nice and toasty in that compost. That's the allotment put to bed for the weekend. I've had a nice little snack of raspberries. There's more there I could harvest, but I don't have time. I got the time wrong earlier. It was about 20 past 7. I think I said 8. It is now about 20 past 8. So yeah, looking good. I'm quite happy with this little gate. It will have, I think, a bit of a roof over the top and maybe some rain collection and a water butt down the front here, I reckon. That's sort of the plan. And yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to just pull the gate shut behind me. Not the most ideal locking mechanism. Latching mechanism, it's not a lock. Something like this might work if there was a wedge you could drive into there to sort of secure that some more. But what we're going to do with the gate, I think we're going to have something that they'll both be the same width, and there'll be something that sort of slides across to latch them together like that, and one of them will have a peg in the cement slab that's behind, so that'll be pegged on the back. So that should give us enough sturdiness there, I reckon. But yeah, pretty posh allotment entrance, isn't it? It'll look much better once it's done. It has been a Quince massacre. It's just past 8 PM on Wednesday, the 13th of August 2025. I was a bit worried about how many fruit are on this, so I've just thinned out, I don't know, probably a bit less than 50%. It seems to have worked pretty well. The tree is a bit more upright, a little bit less weighed down than it was. I still think there might be too many on there. As you can see, the whole tree is leaning this way. I am supposed to build a frame here that we can sort of pin that to get it more upright, but that's how it is this year. So there's still more than 4 dozen fruit on there. Last year we had a crop of about 6 decent sized fruit off this thing. I don't think it was even 6, I think it was 4 or 5. And now we have 4 dozen. I'm a little worried that it's too much for the tree and that it won't, they won't mature, they won't grow. So I've kept the bigger looking ones and the healthier looking ones. And I feel like I should take it down more because I feel like 4 dozen fruit is still too much for this tree. But I also feel pretty bad about doing that, just ripping so many fruit off it, which I shouldn't. I'm doing it a favour, aren't I? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back another day and probably thin it out a second time and get it down to about 2 dozen. But one step at a time, hey? So we're down here to water. It has been a hot and dry week, though it's cooled down considerably tonight and is quite overcast, which is good. It's a little bit of respite. I just watered the chillies, and we have our first chilli sort of crops happening properly now. So if we have a look down here, here's some of what we've harvested just today. So various chilies. This is the variegated one from Chili Chump, which Kat has decided to call Aussie, 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 because it's the green and gold. Though it does actually ripen to a redder hue. But I picked that mainly because of Kat's Aussie, Aussie, Aussie comment. I haven't tasted these yet, so I have no idea what they taste like. They're just such a beautiful looking plant and fruit. I've said it so many times, haven't I? I just love having that plant there on the entrance on the left, and then this big purple one on the right. But it really is a bit of a rainforest in here now. And those poor little okras are just totally totally sort of shaded out down there, unfortunately. We'll work this out. I'm not going to give up on okra yet. So yeah, obviously we have some capsicums happening now, these bullhorns and these chocolates, various varieties of tomatoes. It looks like it's probably a Argy mango, and I think that might be an orange drop. I can't remember what those are. I'm going to have to look it up. It's all mapped out. These are Thunder Mountain Longhorns, I believe. Nice long skinny chilies, or peppers, if you will. Obviously the ubiquitous zucchinis. We have a big bowl of them at home right now, and the raspberries do just keep on coming. So yeah, that's our little harvest from today. We may find some other things to harvest, I guess. We've had some various meals. I had a really nice lunch at work yesterday, based upon all allotment produce pretty much, plus some mozzarella and some rye bread. So yeah, lots of watering in here today. The tomatoes are reaching for the sky, and my last job today will be to do some high side shooting and training. Though some of these I'm going to have to get a ladder down here at some point to decide what to do with them. I'm not going to chop them off yet, because you can do that, but there's still such enough growing season ahead of us. What I'll do with these cherries is I'll train them sort of down the wires that way, so we'll get more fruit that way. Though I might chop the tops off these decolgars here, where this variety last year was the first time we tried to grow it, and we got a lot of blossom end rot, and this year same thing. So I don't think we'll worry about that one again. They're interesting tomatoes, but I'm not super in love with them or anything. And other things going on in here. This is supposed to be a green zebra, but it is utterly whacked. It's like just totally weird. I don't know if this is a virus or a genetic mutation. It's really strange. Everything, I mean, the stems are twisty and bent, the leaves are not forming properly. Nothing else in the space has anything like that going on. There's just this one green zebra tomato that's totally not happy. And we've got some other illnesses happening. I don't know, I'm a bit worried. I don't know if we've got blight settling in already. Is that blight? It's a little bit like it. Or it might just be underwatering. Look at that. Talking of side shoots. Now I have to get the secateurs on that one. It's a bit heavy, a bit thick to just snap off. Our Petit Degree Durens melons are doing well. Good size. Our Minnesota midgets this year have all just been a bit of a disaster. We got a couple of fruit off the one in the middle over here. This one, that had slipped down and something had nibbled on them, so we took them off, but I think they're ripe, thankfully. So we got them in the fridge. And yeah, these Pedigree Durens, which are that one there on the right, that's a Minnesota midget, and that's another Pedigree. That has 2 fruit on it. So there's 3 of each, and all 3 of the Pedigree have 2 decent sized fruit on them each. So yeah, that's not too bad for the melons. Look at that. Yeah, so that's the polytunnel status. I believe when I was down here the other day, while we're here, I did mention these. That's got bigger again since last time I did a little photo/video of it. I don't know much about pears, so I'm not actually sure when to harvest these. We'll have to do some research on when to harvest your pears.